have this ice-breaking role of starting the second day, at least in this room. So I hope you enjoyed. The first day, it was quite hectic, busy, but very much inspiring. So my name is Anil Kumar Dev. I will be the, let's say, the moderator and the host for today. I have the role of showcasing you for the very first time. So it's a grand, let's say, announcement, a virtual reality and a metaverse project called Lunar City. So we didn't prepare any slides. So let me just start with a very easy question. So with no slides, but with some maybe visual content anyway. So the easiest thing to ask when we start a session at the IAC, International Astronautical Congress, is who wanted to become an astronaut? Well, I was expecting all the room full of people interested in becoming an astronaut. Okay, so who wanted to go to the moon? Okay, a lot of people, even more than the people maybe wishing to go or wishing to become an astronaut. Now, I finished the gadget, so I don't have other questions. But let me just ask you again, who still want to go to the moon after the last 10 years, so the moon here, after the last 10 years advancement in technology? Who think that moon is closer to us than we think, or at least space is closer to us than we think? Okay, we have quite few. Now, this was not an examination, so we are not giving you any mark, but you have basically two ways of somehow go to space or go to the moon. One is become either an American or a Japanese millionaire and buy some tickets and go there, out there. The second is maybe buying such a tool, the third and last gadget I have for today, such a tool and stay at home and somehow in a very comfort zone, in your comfort of your home, navigate and go to space. But to do what? To discover space, to learn about science in space, to enjoy space, to maybe raise awareness about what you can do in space, to support maybe if you are an astronaut, a professional astronaut, to train yourself, or maybe to run some experiments. So all in one, and this is all about Lunar City. So for almost all of us, I wanted to, not to become an astronaut, so I'm just outing here. I just not wanted to become an astronaut, but an airplane pilot. But now, because of this amazing platform, maybe I might be that close also to become an astronaut myself. So, you know, you can somehow, with ground-based technology, access to space, enjoy, as said, and learn. And also, accessing maybe space, you can, of course, somehow realize that space is closer to us than we think. So, with no further ado, what we'll do in the next 45 minutes is discover what Lunar City is, discover how you can maybe learn about and become, let's say, Earth-based astronaut. We can start with this brand new definition. And of course, we will showcase you something, because as we say, seeing is believing. So we have some good stuff to show you today. So with no further ado, I guess that, as I mentioned, seeing is believing. We should see what we are speaking about. So I would ask to start with our inspirational or motivational video.
Pulled apart, you'll know it's 15 seconds away from the liftoff.
7, 6, 5. 4, 1.
So, thanks for the applause, but I guess it was also, let's say, an applause by fate, because this was a very nice video, but later on, we will see in real how this works. And I just start mentioning that you can also see the platform and access it. I don't remember if it is North Wing or South Wing, probably South Wing, at the booth of Altec, right, Francesco? Yes. Okay, so let me invite you to discuss and maybe tell you a bit more about what Lunar City is, to invite the panelists of this session, and of course all the speakers will be with us, so if you want to ask questions, and we might also have, if we are good with the time, I see that the clock here, but if we are good at the time, we can also take some questions at the end of the session. So I would invite here 2 out of 3 partners of that you see also in the last slide. 2 out of 3 partners of Lunar City project. So I would invite Cesare Lobascio from Thales Alenia Space Italy on the stage. Francesco Santoro from, we have 2 Francesco, yes. So Francesco, I cannot say Francesco 1 and Francesco 2 because it's not good for the number 2. So let's say Francesco FS, Francesco Santoro from Altec, and FC, Francesco Cupertino from Polytechnic of Bari. We all know each other since very long, so I can go with a very easy and an easy name. So Francesco Cupertino is the rector, so welcome, Professor, is the rector of Polytechnic of Bari. Cesare is the head of the innovation and exploration for Thales Alenia Space in Italy. You will see also in the background all the right designation they have, and Francesco Santoro is again in charge of technologies exploitation, is one of the best denomination I've ever seen for Altec. Now, let me start with Cesare, only because he's the only one who is not named Francesco, so it's easy to spot in that. Cesare, when you met the first time, when you saw the first time the concept, that by the way was a concept from Next One Film Group, we have here the founder, Alessandra, you started with a completely different activity together, because it was a docu-film, if I'm not wrong, and it was a sort of media and outreach. But how you, being Thales Alenia Space, okay, you are okay. So he showed he's an engineer, so he solved the problem. He studied the problem
with the help of the university.
With the help of the university, and okay, it's a good public-private partnership collaboration. We can go on for all the morning, but well, so you met Next One Film Group. It was for a completely other thing. So it was regarding media. So why a company as Thales Alenia Space decided to take chance of this on this initiative, and what would you there?
Yes, thanks, Anil. I think it was quite natural for us because we met Alessandra and we soon started to brainstorm on what we were doing. So for those of you who don't know Thales Alenia Space, we have built a vast majority of the modules for the space station, the human modules, and now we're working on the new station gateway for the moon, for moon orbit. By the way, you will be able to experience a VR experience at our booth at Thales Alenia Space. So that is easily bringing me to the topic that we have used VR for many years, for more than 15 years, to aid in the design of our human modules. There is a problem when you go to, there's many problems when you go to space, but one is how to experience the absence of gravity and how to make it, easily visualized when you do your design. So, well, there's different ways you can put your module in a swimming pool. Okay, that's not very practical to do all the time. So we immediately started working on virtual reality as a tool for designers and also to, let's say, help us show our users, which are the astronauts, how to access the different parts of the interior of a human module. You can easily turn upside down and do everything you need just without being in space. So we have done that for many years, and then when we met Alessandra, we thought, well, how about extending this experience, these technological developments, to to outreach and to train more. And so that was quite a brainstorming that we had, and then we started thinking about solutions. So of course we are a space company, and we develop hardware, software. We develop solutions. So we were thinking immediately, okay, but how can we, if we want to extend the idea of designing on ground to having something in space which makes available the whole interior and shows the interior in immersive way to everybody, to designers, to astronauts, to the people. How can we do it? And you understand there is an issue of latency, there is an issue of bandwidth. So we started thinking, and we now have a deposited patent for the technology. So we started thinking about the solution, and there we are. So we are now thinking about the future, how to, we want to integrate what we call traverse space real time into the platform, into the metaverse. And the objective in future is to support the Artemis missions. Just 100 kilometers from here, we are welding the structures for the gateway, for the Halo, for Northrop Grumman, and for the International Habitation Module. So we are building the real hardware. We are also building physical mock-ups, so it's not just a virtual mock-up that we're going to use, but both are super useful for showing the astronauts, for designing, and later for training.
So you are literally combining these two things.
Exactly.
The astronaut and the moon in a way, no? Because of the IAF and other modules. So you mentioned the very two keywords, because training and education. Also, encompassing outreach and so on. So if we add also another keyword that might be operations and support to operations. So this led me to Francesco Santoro, because you're representing Altec. Altec is a joint venture between Thales Alenia Space and the Italian Space Agency and ASI. So if you maybe can tell us a bit more about Altec, what you guys do, and basically why also you decided to join this interesting project, and how you might use such a platform.
Okay, thank you so much, Anil, and good morning, everybody. Basically, as you mentioned, Altec is an operation company. So we provide engineering support for both manned programs in low Earth orbit and unmanned programs related to exploration of universe. And we have also a lot of activities related to data processing, especially as far as concerns the receival of data from satellites like Gaia and Euclid and stuff like that. Altec, among the several services that Altec offers are operations support, so the support to the experiments, the support to the logistics and maintenance, and also the training of the flight crew. We do this basing upon a big control center, which we host in our premises, in our facility. And as a complementary thing, just to integrate what Cesare just said, what we think is that we can very effectively integrate the operations that we do on the space systems with such a metaverse platform. What we do is just our role is just to be as midway between the space, the actual space, the real-time space, and the metaverse. So what we do is just make it happen that all the videos and information coming from space come through our control center and get the proper format. And I don't want to enter in too much technicalities, but we distribute this data to the platform, Lunar City platform, and the platform distributes the information to all the users, basically. What I like to underline is that this is a real-time operations. So we receive the data, we craft the architecture of the overall system, and we provide the data to Lunar City, to the platform in real time, and the platform on its turn, just starting from the information that it receives from our control center, distributes to the users. So we are going to have a real-time thing in metaverse system to be used for different purposes, and we can enter in more detail later.
Okay, so you pointed out, thanks. So you pointed out one very important thing is that everything is in real time. So it's not that it's a pre-recorded or is a virtual environment where you can surf and go. It's not like it's a video game. Let's put it in this way. It's very much real time, and you as Altec, you are just working as the middleware in a way. So you are taking the data, and in an official way you are deploying the data and exploiting, as it's your business role. So you're exploiting the data to Lunar City. So everything you see from the platform is real. Am I right?
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay. So I passed the exam. Yeah. Well, but both of you mentioned that you can use the platform also to maybe teach or to train maybe professionals or train astronauts or even train your technical guys maybe in future operations and so on. So let me maybe pass the microphone to the rector, so Professor Cupertino, because the two companies, because we are talking about private companies on your left, they are very much interested and they deem very important training, education, and so on. But you are representing one of the most dynamic polytechnic in Italy, polytechnic, so engineering school, and working, of course, a lot in a region that is one of the most important regions in in Italy about space. Yes, we don't have human science guys on the, so the one by one. If we were all humanities, so we were just sharing the microphone, one each other, and you want one by one, so we have engineers on stage. So, Rector, is a platform like this one can be useful? So, platform like this, but also the integration of technologies like VR technologies and so on can be effectively used and of course of very interesting use for education purposes. And tell us, of course, about your polytechnic, because I raised the bar now, saying that you are one of the most active in Italy.
Yes, that's challenging. Yeah, good morning, everyone, first of all. Yes, of course, it could be, the easy answer is yes, it could be useful, yeah? But let's make a step behind. If we think at how teachers approach teaching, often it happens that teachers tend to explain concepts to the students as they were used to be trained. So we tend to explain in the same way somebody else explained to us before. Some more wiseful teachers tend to make an effort and try to explain in the same way they understand concepts. So they make this effort. But it becomes even rare that teachers tend to try to take to be in the same shoes of their students, trying to understand how the students understand the concepts. Students evolves is not a static equilibrium. As students evolve, society evolves. The way we live evolves. The tools we use every day, they evolve. And in the same way, students are changing, and the way they approach the study, the way they approach learning, it changes. And if we want to be listened by our students, if we want to attract and inspire a larger number of students, and we did that because what all of us know that the aerospace sector is growing up faster, and we need to keep the pace with our university, attracting a larger number of students in order to allow the private sector to grow up and use this growing phase of the aerospace sector. And in this context, of course, I think that the virtual reality and the metaverse could be a way of trying to talk the language the students understand the best. That means that, of course, such kind of tools, they have to complement theoretical studies, but they can be used to inspire them, to explain which could be the job they will join, choosing a particular path in their studies. And if this could be useful for training of students, of course it could be also useful for researchers, for training astronauts, as already mentioned, for training engineers. And I can tell you, talking from a dynamic university, but a small university placed in the southern region of our country of Italy, I have to underline that aerospace sector, especially in Europe, have competencies well spread around the countries and around regions inside the countries. By joining such kind of tools, we can make bridges in between research centers, and we can help the cooperation, and so that also small research groups can join more complicated projects involving private companies all around the world and the largest research centers, and could be, let me say, a tool to improve democracy in research in the aerospace sector, allowing a larger number of university of research centers to join such kind of projects. Of course, is a tool, is a piece of a more complex system that we have to build up together, but of course it could be a really very important tool to be, to be adopted by our universities. The game that we are playing in the next few years, it will really be based on the capacity that our research centers and universities will have to attract young talents. It will be the first problem. Then the second problem is to transfer the research results into businesses with startups and with private companies. That are the two main the two main things in which we have to improve our way of working from, I'm talking from university side. And of course, this tool, Lunar City, the use of the metaverse, could be useful in both those missions in order to, to look with a little, with more positive hope with respect to our future.
So there's an interesting point, and maybe something that Alessandra you should think about, because it's a new maybe direction also, additional direction for the platform, is training the trainees or training the educators and joint scientific missions and joint scientific experiments. So it's very interesting angle of and your perspective. Now, the time is flying very fast because we want to show you something. But the time is flying very fast also for space. So we all witnessed, if we were not there, but pretty sure on the social media and on the web, you all saw the achievement, of that guy on the other side of the ocean, and with that 70-meter long launcher just catch, in almost real time. But do you think, Cesare, that because time is flying very fast in space, technology is very much advancing, so do you think that this kind of platform can be also used, I'm talking about Thales Alenia Space, of course,
yes,
to shape in a faster way the next future of space? Like, I don't know, maybe reducing the design time,
yes,
reducing the testing time, the prototyping time. Is this kind of integrated technology, because another thing that we need to mention, is this kind of integrated technology of help?
Do you need a short answer? So I can just say yes.
Okay, done.
That's
Thanks a lot. So, Francesco,
well, just to elaborate,
yes.
but 1 second.
Yes, very much.
Yeah, yes, very much. Yeah, yes. Indeed, this can. I think I really liked what Francesco said before about the collaborative tool. It's immersive and on my right, okay. Francesco Cupertino. It's immersive and collaborative tools. I think are going to be they are already actually quite much in place together with digital twins, of course, but it's going to be the future to, yes, as you said, to have a faster pace of development, quicker feedback from the users. That's key. We need to involve more and more the users in the design. And today is not so simple with the astronauts, with the agencies to organize the events with the astronauts, to have their feedback, to have them in the loop. In the future will be key to have more of that.
Okay, so you mean that, because in space now, we know this, we had chance to speak about this in other sessions and also years back. There is not that much care of UX or CX, so the user-centered design or customer-centered design. It's not something that in space was. So this kind of platform can maybe allow you to,
Yeah, I mean, we try hard, but it's, the astronauts are rarely available, not because of their bad will, but it's difficult. So with remote tools. And the other thing is that we are not alone in the integration of systems. We are a large system integrator, so we are integrating a large ecosystem of suppliers, partners, startups, and as well as experiments. So in future, it will be more and more key to work together using these kind of tools.
Yeah, and this is also an example of what the, let's say, the technologies integrator that is represented here by Vaction Technologies, the CEO is in the first row, they made, to exploit the idea of Alessandra and Next One Film Group to create maybe this, so integrating different technologies, but with the purpose of maybe making available new tools to design something.
Vaction mastered the technology, and we integrate in the space technology. So that's a great partnership. So
it's a good spin-in application. Francesco Santoro, because so FS, Francesco S. But so you mentioned that you have this connection, so you are a sort of gateway, real time and so on. Is there any other way you might use this platform, maybe for your own purposes, or is there any particular thing? Because I know there's also, of course I know, but there's also an IP behind behind real space travel. Real-time space travel. So is there anything that you look, maybe again as asked to Cesare, in the future, so you as Altec, how you can use the platform?
Okay, yeah, there is a bunch of applications that we can look over for the future. Of course, I just pick up from something that Cesare said earlier. Sometimes, for instance, crew has to be trained, but is based in different location, remote to one another. So fostering and beefing up the integration of tools may certainly be very, very helpful, not only, in my opinion, for space operations, but even during ground operations. For instance, I earlier mentioned that we are available, a big control center for receiving the space data. This center has been completely redone, and today there is going to be a small inauguration, let's say, of a brand new control center that we are going to use for supporting the Lunar City operations. Another thing I would like to mention that may be very useful in the future is the usage in facilities that you can build on ground for preparing for the space mission. We are building, for instance, I make you an example. We are going to build in our premises a lunar facility, which is going to be not only a lunar terrain simulator, but a control center, just an open lab, which is going to be open to not to a specific program, but rather to whoever user wants to carry out experiments on the lunar soil. So I believe that in future perspective, a good integration between stuff like this and a platform like Lunar City will be one of the key elements to foster being successful in integrating all the elements together.
So you are connecting basically three things: the real-time experience,
yes,
real, and virtual.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's quite it's quite unique.
It's quite unique, yeah, of course. And in general, going back to the general concept of the platform, we do space operations, and our role is to be, as I said, midway between the real thing happening in space and the metaverse.
Okay, and that's maybe is one of the key points and the key differentiation elements from this platform to maybe other, virtual or VR platforms. Rector, you said that, of course, you have a quite high responsibility because you are educating, training, and shaping the new competencies and skills in space for the future. So where would you see this kind of application in maybe finding new paths for education for youngsters who are now maybe interested, but there is a plenty of different initiatives, education, but not maybe focused on cross competencies or mixed skills or so on. Can such kind of platform be also useful for you to maybe find new pathways and new direction for the education and creating new competencies?
Yes, of course, it could. I will make just one example.
Yep.
Space architecture. Architecture is the science that studies the interaction between human beings and the place where they live. If we plan to go to the moon, to Mars, not just to stay for a short period, but to live there, we also need to think at the quality of life in such places. And of course, Italy has a quite consolidated experience in architecture, everybody knows, and in design. And that could be something in which we could say a word in the global ecosystem. That's something that I do believe sometimes is underestimated. It's just not selling furniture. It's building an environment in which human beings have to spend a significant part of their life, and that could be something that could, have a boost by instruments like Lunar City.
And do you feel that these cross competencies, so having maybe new profiles that knows a little bit about space and engineering, but a little bit about non-space maybe topics, is something that will maybe have long-lasting opportunities in the future?
I hope so. I mean, of course, the aerospace sector is being contaminated day by day by other subjects because you want to transfer a group of human beings on another planet, and then you need everything we have developed on Earth to be moved there. Then we have to open our doors to competencies also not very close to the classical aerospace sector. That's something we are trying to do also in Bari. We are not trying to to become the most expert in propulsion because the best in the class are somewhere else. But it is possible also for newcomers to this sector to find the specific field in which they could give a significant boost to the global ecosystem.
Okay, so from Bari to the moon, somehow.
Yeah.
Well, let me just ask for a round of applause for our panelists. The morning is... This session is not over because now is coming the, let's say, the real or virtual stuff, because we're gonna see the platform with a real demo. So if you guys want to stay on the stage, is okay. I don't know if you can see maybe on the screen there, or if you want to sit as you like, just for your neck. Let me ask Filippo to. He is my assistant for today. Hi, Filippo. It's like in the festival. So he's showing you. This is it's in real time. So now you know about that. So how the platform, how the system works. So let's see if we can maybe project on the main screen. Everything is live. So okay. Let's see. This is always the most delicate. Everybody told me that no pressure, everything will work, and it's working. Now, we are where we are, Filippo. We are in the Spaceport, right? So we are entering. This is how you see. Look at Filippo, look at the visor, look at the screen. So this is everything in In real time, this is what he's seeing. Try to turn maybe left or right just to check that, okay, that it's where he's looking at. The other human beings, or you see there, the colored people, they are real. So they are other users. So this is what we meant by interaction. So other users are in the same spaceport. You can interact. You can, of course, as in the first and early definition of metaverse, you can socialize. You can, of course, teach, learn, run experiments, and so on. So this is a full-scale virtual area. Let's try to let's go up to the stairs, Filippo. You see the stairs here on the yes, that one. Okay, be careful, go slow. You have a certain age, so don't run. Okay. In virtual is also same as real. So, okay, here we see, by the way, this is a little launch, and you can see maybe for the space passionates, you can recognize the module. Try to see, go a little back. And okay, here on the right, the module here. Voila. I don't know if any space fan recognize this. This is the Columbus module. So, of course, you can look at the module, you can enter, you can learn what is inside. You can, of course, touch things maybe if you want, extract and interact with the module. And this is also why we have, of course, partners like Thales and who is building and knows, of course, all the technology in it. Let's maybe go out. You see also Simon, you see over there. Just turn on the right, Filippo. You see the round. Okay, go back. Okay. There is also there's an exhibition, by the way. We have the Mars terrain, so the one that Francesco was mentioning. You can, of course, interact with the rover. You can see. You can, in the future, you can also be able to maybe move the rover with a remote control and so on. I saw also at a certain point there was also some entertaining part. Can you go back, Filippo? Okay. There was some little like games. Yes, the one on your, okay, now it's on your left. This one, yes. So those are games, and of course games are part of the platform. Those are in particular 3 different games. There is also this year, it was this year, we announced at the Space Meetings Veneto event, there was, it was Splash. Right? It was the tennis and paddle. The paddle, this one. Okay, this one. So you can play paddle on the ISS if you want, comfortably at your home. But this is the game, and of course you can simulate, and you can be on that. Let's maybe move on from the gaming part. Is there? Let's see if we can, if we are maybe happy with this. Let's go out. I just wanted to show one other module. Can we go back to the gate 1? Okay, so the main hall, this is a spaceport. Huh? So it's somewhere in the space. And let's see. You can, of course, navigate. Let's go to gate 1. Here we go. So boarding area, travel space, real time. You enter the area. Of course, you have all the command in your hand. We have a gate 1. This is the logo. Just some advertising. Oh, by the way, if you want, you can also advertise in here. So you can, show up your product or services on the platform. And we enter here, and this is something quite new and interesting, you can enter the iHub, which is the one that also Cesare mentioned. So again, you can interact, you can study, you can learn, and of course you can enjoy because you can interact with all the products and all the materials. Okay, I don't know if we still have some time. Do you have any questions or any, I don't know, curiosity? You want Filippo to go somewhere? We don't have toilets so far in the platform, so no restroom. But if you want maybe to I don't know. Yes? Outer space, no, not in this configuration, or not yet, because of course we have to develop the EVA suit and all that facility. And this is also again an education part. So how the material, how the EVA suit you can wear, and so on. There were two other questions over there. I guess we can go without the mic, or okay, mic is there.
Thank
yes.
You. Is there a sort of a cupola where we can have some overview effect on the Earth or the Moon?
And pictures?
Yeah.
Yes, of course, because we have the cupola manufacturer here, so not Cesare, but Thales Alenia Space. So yes, that will be part of the virtual tour. Yes, of course, you can go there and you can take pictures like astronauts. We had also a question from the lady, the girl. Sorry.
Hello, thank you so much for showing this. It's beautiful. I'm curious, can you share the technical details of how this game was created, what platform it was built on, how long did it take, and I don't know if you're able to share the budget or other details like that.
The timing and the budget?
And the platform it was built on.
Okay, so it has been now, how many? 2 years of, let's say, 1.5 years of pure development, so the technology integration and so on. The work is not fully done because, of course, there are many other things that we can integrate. There has been so far private investment, and this is the announcement for whoever wants to maybe interested and wants to contribute. But we will start a fundraising for the next step. There is, of course, a business model and a business plan behind it. But so far, yes, so far the support of the private organization, so it was very much instrumental because we had, of course, the technical assistance from Thales, beside the integration stuff from Vaction Technologies, but the know-how is coming from, so who knows very well all the modules, and also from Altec. That was one of the, the valuable part because of the proper real-time thing. So those images are all coming real-time. So yes, we are on track, but from next month, I would say that we are starting the real fundraising stuff to go beyond this.
And the platform, is it Unreal or Unity?
Sorry?
Is the platform it was built on?
Yeah.
Like, is it Unreal Engine or Unity, or like what's the VR platform that was?
It's real. Well, this,
Real Engine.
Real Engine. What was the question about?
The platform that the app was made on, like
yes.
the game engine, which one was it?
Oh, which one?
Mm-hmm.
It's...
Well, ours is Unreal
But
Engine.
the gaming platform, she's asking the library, probably.
Yes, we use, for our models, we use Unreal Engine. For the integration in Lunar City, I'm not sure what was used.
This we can ask Gianmarco, he's here, but...
Gianmarco, would you know?
Yes.
Real Engine, yes. Okay, confirmed.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, I thought you were asking how we integrate the Real Engine with the technical stuff from Thales. Okay. There was one question here and one also in the back. Yes, okay. And other one
thank
here.
You for,
okay.
Would you please show
it's
us?
Getting warmer.
Would you please show us how can you astronauts can be trained by this? Because now we only see the facilities, right? So how can you operate it? Can you show us?
Okay.
Thank you.
Not for the demo today, because some of the experiments were, of course, some were under NDA, and some we had to ask not only the astronauts or Thales, but also the the owner of the experiment. So it was not maybe that possible in this in such a short time. But yes, we of course have the data to train. But I guess that maybe for this Cesare is the best person to answer.
Well, yeah. For example, you saw the Columbus module. That one is actually part of an ongoing contract that we have with the European Space Agency to update it all the time. So, you know, the thing is that when you build a module, then it's not a static kind of thing. It's evolving continuously. New experiments, new payloads coming, things being exchanged. So this is continuously updated. And indeed, in some of our models, we have the feature to interact with the different drawers, different experiments. It really depends.
Yes. Like, for instance, someone who wants to run an experiment on the ISS or on a module, of course, they can maybe either try to do the experiments, so providing all the data and all the models and so on, and Thales will integrate in the real system, or otherwise run it as it was to be real, so with the long-lasting, with the same time and the same process, without maybe shrinking it in one element. But it's very much a case by case. This is very much a private, let's say, contract with who wants to run the experiment. Yes. Sure.
Just to add something, part of the training is just supporting a real mission. So this tool allows us, for instance, to follow and to interact with the real-time experiment operations. And whenever you do that, you can, at the same time, train future astronauts for upcoming mission. So this is one of the added value of the tool.
Yeah, there was a question here and one in the back. Let me go first to the back one. That was yes. We have 5-6 minutes, but
are you trying to develop gloves that follows the movement of the hands to improve the manual skills, or is not a relevant thing?
You mean haptic? Or the movement of...
yeah, exactly.
Yes, this will be, I guess, the next, because of course, we are very much linked also with the technology, with the mass of the technology, but yes, you know, it's quite obvious that once we want to substitute this with maybe haptic or a smart gloves or whatever, it's just a matter of integrating that command in the system, but the answer is yes. Not now, because as said, this is the very first, you know, fully, but very first version, and from next month will be now the fundraising for the next version of the platform. Here, right? Yes.
Thank you. My name is Samer. Two questions. Like the first is the business-wise, and the second is scientific-wise. The first one is like business-wise. Is like, are you thinking, or do you believe the product itself could be optimized and customized for kids, schools, and universities? Like, do you have like any private contract for this? And the second one is like, since as we know that our source of information is based on our senses, and when we put the virtual or metaverse, we insert in our brains the concept for like in subconsciously the concept of some reality. So for astronauts themselves, it's kind of a bit risky if it's not reflecting the reality in ISS or like up in the space. So I mean, is there any connection or like a reality connection between the subconscious and their like upstairs? Thank you.
Okay, so I'll go fast as my panelists with the first question about the business model. If we have a business model, yes, of course. done. I'm like the panelists here. But yes, we can of course go maybe deeper in the conversation after the session. But yes, and it's also very much diversified because one of the agreement, I don't know if we can maybe disclose that, but one of the agreement is to create an education spot. So it's an academy. And this is an agreement with one of the regions in Italy to create an academy for training purposes only, education and training with that range of target, like the kids and K-12. And regarding the second, so to avoid maybe isolation or all the cognitive maybe impairment because of real versus virtual, yes, of course, there has been many studies and there is a lot of research behind this. But the research is also saying that it's quite important if you want to go on deep space mission. It's very much important to to have such kind of tools. Is a bit of paradox, but to avoid alienation. So, but yes, to answer your question, yes, we have also this because it's if you are using this for a long time, of course, we have to avoid that kind of element. And this is also why we have inside the gaming and different aspects. And there might be in the future, let's see, also a sort of time limit to avoid this kind of maybe psychological impact. I don't know if you want to add something, or we are okay.
Well,
okay.
Perhaps I need to add for clarification that the real next step is to go from like a designed model to the real. So the next step is going to be to have on board the structures, to have on board 3D cameras and sensors to take the real imaging. Well, some of them are already on board, actually. They can be usable, having permissions. So that will allow even interacting with who is on board. With astronauts on board, you can have your avatar interacting with the astronauts. So this can be used by astronauts, but also in future, by regular people. So that's quite powerful, I think.
Yes.
In order to do what Cesar said, you have to negotiate special agreements with the provider of the space flights, which may be agencies, maybe private companies. So you have to build the overall user model, so to say, to make this happen.
Okay. Now we are running a bit late of time. I guess that I just have 3 messages here. One is we need to take back on Earth Filippo. So thanks for making us fly to space. Thanks a lot for assisting. The second message is that if you want to see and try the platform, you have at least 2 spots where to go. One is the virtual reality that Cesare mentioned at the Thales Alenia Space, and if you want to see Lunar City and maybe enjoy the conversation after this session at the booth of Altec, that is, of course, nearby. Third and last message. I don't know if you know this quote from Clement Stone, because he said that aim for the moon. If you miss it, you might hit a star. So maybe what we want to show today, we wanted to show this morning, is that aim to the moon, and if you may hit it, definitely you can reach it using Lunar City platform. Thanks for being with us, and I hope you will enjoy the rest of the conference.